So the cost, we always intended to sort of do an analysis at the very end of the project and kind of go, well, what was really the premium that we paid to to achieve what we did, and to be honest, we never went through that in the very end for a whole heap of reasons, but I'm guessing it might have been about 5% more, because in reality we weren't doing a lot more to achieve it from a normal house. It's still timber frame construction. It still has standard materials on the outside. It still has standard materials on the inside. But you are building up the layers on the inside. Insulation in itself is not that expensive in the scheme of things, right? So it's more about the labor involved to make it airtight, yeah? Rather less about the material, but more about the time and effort that's involved in making a building airtight. And then what about the ventilation system? Well, the ventilation system at the time cost about $10,000. Well, a decent heat pump or 2 heat pumps is what some people have nowadays. You'll be looking at the same. So I don't see that. So that wasn't a huge additional expense. Aluminium. The window joinery. Yes, and they tell you that beforehand. It's the single biggest expensive component in the house. But even then, we looked at, I try and support local where I can, but it just wasn't comparable in terms of price, really. And I needed something that was certified passive house, and that just makes it a lot easier for a designer to get that passive house certification in the end, rather than a product that hasn't been through those processes. So that's kind of where I ended up. My original contract value was around $800,000 at the time. And we more or less stayed within that. We had some pluses and minuses, but I think that's where we kind of ended up, really. That's for the house. It's not landscaping or anything like that. The landscaping we allowed for was a bit just grassing, I think it was. And I might have got a little bit wrong on the furnishings, right? In terms of curtains. I think I had about, $2,000 or something for curtains for the whole house. Oh, yeah. That was like...
They did one room.
I think they did one room or something. Like, oh my God.
But we don't have a lot of curtains.
No.
So it's only in the bedrooms.
Yeah, downstairs and downstairs
and upstairs.
And upstairs.
Yeah.
And so because we don't need curtains for thermal comfort, we don't need to, we don't need to keep the heat in or the cold out or anything like that. The windows are already doing it, and so it's really about visual privacy, really, more than anything else. And we don't mind if people walk up the street and look inside our house when, while we're sitting at the dining table or in the kitchen or So our energy use is around 7,000 kilowatt hours per year. And that's for everything, right? So that, because it's a fully electric house, so that's cooking, hot water heating, ventilation, or lighting.